live.
We are live. All right, Zack is posting, and I'm cold. It's very cold. We talked about what this would look like when the temperature dropped, and we started these walks. It is 33 degrees last time I checked. We got some snow flurries earlier in the day, so we just bundled up a little bit more, and we're good to go. We're feeling very good. Kentucky set to take on the Fighting Colgate Raiders. The Raiders of the Patriot League. Zack Geoghegan, how the heck are you doing tonight on this frigid December evening?
I'm doing great. Cold night here on our walk to watch the toothpaste play. I don't know. I know Colgate's been trying to get this game set up for a while. There's kind of a backstory to it with Ephraim Woods, who was an Ashland native and was like a longtime chemistry professor at Colgate for like 20 years. Had like 20 different published works or something like that. Like a really smart guy. Unfortunately passed away due to brain cancer. I think it was in February of this past year.
Zack, here, Jack, to every one of you guys. Sorry, I'm going to tie my shoe.
Oh, he's tying his shoe. Okay. I was like, are we not live or something? So, Steven is tying his shoe real quick. Let me point this camera at Jack.
Yeah.
So now Colgate has finally been able to schedule this game against Kentucky. They are a very, very bad basketball team. I think one of the only things they're good at is like shooting. But they're not good they're not good at making, though. It's the old Calipari situation. They've got plenty of shooters. This team does not have makers. They shoot, I think they're like 27 threes a game or something like that, so they will fire up a lot of shots. My favorite stat from this game, from Brandon Ramsey's pregame or like scouting report thing, was they are as equally bad in transition offense as they are in transition defense.
Oh, that's good.
Which I thought was,
that
if
bodes
you're not
well.
good at either of them, you're probably not going to be a very good team. So.
That bodes well for a team that, like Kentucky, that is exceptional in both of those areas, especially for a Kentucky team that is desperate to get back to its hot shooting ways, kind of using this as a potential feel-good opportunity, if you will, after 4 consecutive games failing to, shoot above 28% from three, I believe. They haven't gotten to the 30 attempt mark that Mark Pope has desperately wanted to push, and they haven't made more than 8 in that stretch, and the last 3 have been 7. So they have been waiting for their opportunity. They have found ways to win outside of shooting, but this team's identity is shooting. They want to launch at a high rate with high efficiency. They haven't done either of those things in the last couple of games. This is the opportunity for them to get back in their good shooting night ways.
If you're looking for a game where you can hit 15 threes, this should be a pretty easy one. I even think Colgate's missing their lone 7-footer. Like, he's been hurt pretty much all season. So this team is just it could be rough. I say all that, and who knows? It's going to be close in the second half, but
they did keep it close against Syracuse.
They did. They lost by 2 to Syracuse.
Yes.
And I think they played NC State, kind of got blown out in that game. But so they've played some good teams.
They one of their 2 losses, wins of the year. I don't even know what they are. Like I don't know.
UNC Wilmington is one. I know that. The Fighting Tazarian Whites.
Yes.
Is he on that team anymore? Or did he transfer?
He transferred.
And then some other team that's like Division II. So they beat them.
But
the main storylines tonight, Jack, are going on in the backcourt. Kentucky is going to, for sure, be without Kirk Creasy. He's going to be out 4 or 6, however long, at least a month, this probably sounds like, per all the reports that are out there. And Lamont Butler, we're still not entirely sure, I guess, if he's going to be able to go or not tonight. It realistically should not matter at all if Lamont plays or not, especially because we saw Jackson do pretty well there at the point guard position against Gonzaga. Anything you want to share about Lamont's status, or is it kind of just a wait and see? What's going on?
So here was the deal with Lamont. He was a participant at shoot-around out in Seattle ahead of the Gonzaga game. And it was just kind of a, let's test it to see how it goes. Did not respond well. A game-time decision, decided to hold him out. It was one of those deals where it's like, man, you don't want this to turn into a lingering situation. He played on a hurt ankle all year last year at San Diego State, so it's one of those deals where it does suck that, you weren't able to get him in such a high-profile game and matchup. Did end up needing him, very fortunately. Jackson Robinson stepped up once Kirk Creasy went down, and the rest was history. And now we kind of get to the position where it's like, all right, well, if you're going to hold him out for Gonzaga, why bring him back against the second worst team on Kentucky's schedule in Colgate, where you do not need Lamont Butler to push it, even if he's 98.6% good.
Yeah.
What's the point in risking further injury, re-injury, re-aggravating? I have not gotten final confirmation, but just some of the early vibes are like, I'm not sure that this is going to be one where they push it. And, just capitalizing on Jackson Robinson playing really, really well at the point guard position, and, maybe using this as an opportunity to get Travis Perry some run,
yes.
Colin Chandler getting some extended run. You don't get very many of those types of opportunities moving forward, Zach, with the schedule about to ramp up in a very, very, very major way. So my early hunch, without seeing anything in person, is that Lamont will not give it a go.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. This is a perfect Travis Perry game. You've got two more non-conference or low major, mid-major non-conference games, Colgate and Brown left. Those are the games that you want to try and get Travis Perry, maybe even Trent Noah some extra minutes. Definitely want to see some more from Colin Chandler. This will be a good game for him to throw in. Maybe even throw him at some guard responsibilities. Give him an opportunity to handle the ball, see what he can do. So, yeah, Kentucky should win this game with ease. You don't really need your two main backcourt guys. This is just one of those kind of feel it out games and make sure that everything is still all right and ready for welcoming Louisville to town on Saturday, who is kind of coming off a closer than expected, I guess, loss to Duke. I think they were even leading at halftime before
they were kind of cooking there early, hit a ton of shots early, and they were kind of trending in the right direction toward upset territory, and then Duke became Duke again, and Louisville became Louisville again. So
yeah, Kentucky wouldn't know how that feels though, because victory's over here. But yeah, so this is just a game that you want to hunker down and make sure nothing goes wrong. Mark Pope continues to say that he treats every game like it's the biggest game of the season.
I love that.
I'm almost to the point where I believe the guy, I think.
I do. I really love it. I mean, and I asked to Ainsley Almanor about it yesterday. Just like, okay,
is it real?
You say it, and it's a great mentality to have, but you're coming off Gonzaga, an emotional, an emotionally exhausting win for anybody. For me, as a dumb fan and writer,
Chris had to get a haircut.
I couldn't
stressed.
Yeah, no kidding. I couldn't imagine what it was like to actually be in that locker room and come back from down 18 points to pull off the win. And then you have Louisville, the in-state rival, the bitter, the emotionally charged game that is, that the fan base really just kind of like, hey, that's a non-negotiable. You got to win that one. And smack dab between the two, one of the worst teams in college basketball. How do you do that? And Ainsley Almanor was like, yeah, we don't care. It's tough competition. We don't care what the name is on the jersey. We don't care what the logo is. We're going to prepare the exact same way. Gave another, maybe not as specific of a scouting report as we've heard some of the other teams, but they are at least prepared for it. And, they were pretty accurate, knowing about the three-point shooting and the slow,
play fast,
slower,
like UK a little.
Yeah. So the headspace is where it needs to be.
Yeah, it's almost like I said. I'm almost to the point where I believe them too. At what point does a cliche not become a cliche when you start to believe it that much? And I think that's kind of what Mark Pope has instilled in these players. Is it might sound like some coach speak and some stuff you hear in movies, but when the players fully buy into it, and it appears that they have, and they truly buy into stuff like that, like the game against Colgate can be the biggest game of your season. And when you think of it like the fact that if Colgate comes in and win, it would be the biggest game of your season. So I understand where you have to keep preaching that. You keep preaching it. Jack, let's talk about that Journey video for a second.
Ooh,
favorite part of the Journey video? Take me through that. There was a lot to choose from. It was a lengthy video. I liked how long it was, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
I was fine with the length of it.
It could have been 45 minutes. I don't care. keep it.
It could have been 40. 2 first halves, 2 second half, and an overtime. I want to watch the whole thing again.
So I think the coolest part of it, especially given knowing what we know now about how the game unfolded, was Jackson Robinson coming off a 1-for-8 start, where he again, for the third straight game, kind of a no-show against Duke, played well, defensively, but a no-show offensively.
Against Clemson.
Clemson, better second half, but still kind of a quiet game. Needed him to step up. He did not. Got off to a really, really cold start, 1-for-8 against Gonzaga, and then he is the one at halftime stepping up and saying, hey,
we
got to get our stuff together. Our effort is not where it needs to be.
There was a lot of audio drops whenever he was talking, which
he was feisty. The one guy who was struggling maybe more than anybody else on the floor was the one to step up and say, hey, we got to get our stuff together.
There you go.
And he was the one of all people to step up in the second half. So it was just the accountability for me. I love that he, as the team's leader, the messenger, middleman between Mark Pope and his teammates, as the one guy who had played for Mark Pope before, was the one to step up in that moment to say, "Hey, we got to get our stuff together." And to his credit, he did it. I thought the accountability was a very, very cool touch.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Jackson Robinson? What he said too. What Jackson said at halftime.
That's who we were talking about.
Oh, that's who you were talking about? I thought you were talking about Kerr. I can't hear.
Yeah, well, Kerr did have a little bit of his moment. I thought that was fun as well. Shout out to Meredith, my beautiful girlfriend over there, guiding Steven along so he doesn't get hit by cars. I think my favorite moment was, I'm trying to think here. The very end when Mark Pope said, "This is the game you all watched when you were 11 years old thinking, how did this happen? I never thought that could happen." And now they were the players in that game. Then I was like, that's, because everyone's out in their backyard shooting those shots and everything and hitting the game winners and stuff. And for Jackson Robinson to kind of be the guy that hit the, you could call it the game winner, the go-ahead shot, where he essentially nutmegged poor Dusty Stromer.
All right. Was that intentional?
It was not, but it was cool looking. And then that floater was awesome. His floater's been great. Jackson at point guard was just so much fun those last 12 minutes.
And Andrew Carr, man, those two together, especially after Andrew Carr struggled the way he did against Clemson, to step up the way that he did, those two together just dog. I said that like 7 times while I was watching the Journey, seeing them play with their biggest highlights, their biggest moments of the game. Just like, yep, dog. And Otega Owe, same thing. Yep, there's a dog.
And the main dog, Lamont Butler, wasn't even out there. Another main dog, Kirk Creesa, not out there.
And Lamont Butler, who was also at halftime coaching up the team.
Absolutely, yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, you got a lot of player accountability on this team. That helps having all those veterans. So just a great Journey video. They get better and better each time. Oh, we've got what do we got going on over here?
Is he singing, freestyling?
Freestyle? No, I want some Christmas tunes or something. Double shot of Hennessy. All right. Well, I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not loving.
Does it say 60 slow people crossing?
I'm not loving the.
We're gonna go over here. I don't know what he is doing. He's got a tie on.
If he's expecting tips, I'm not. I need.
He's watching. You want to hop on, sir?
It's Inception.
You want to hop on?
It's KSception.
Give us some takes. I love the hats. The big hats are always my favorite. All right, give me some names first. Your own name.
First gang. Braden.
Reagan.
Jay.
Hi.
We've got some 3 big diehard UK fans here. He was watching the pregame show on the way over here. I love that. Give us a one take on tonight's game, or even you could do a take on the whole season, and then give us a final score for tonight. I'll start here, and then I'll work my way down.
Well, I think we're going to win real big tonight. Get our 3-point shots going again. That's a big thing. It's been an awesome year so far. I went to Ripatino's camp back in the 90s with Pope. So, I'm just excited. It's great.
I love it. What final score prediction?
101 to 67.
167. I like it. All right, 2 more quick ones.
They don't.
All good?
Oh, you can give us a prediction.
One take on the team. A wide take on the team. What do you got?
I don't even fucking know.
She loves the Cats.
Yes. Well, this is the first time they've been to a game with me. So
that's fun.
Yeah.
First timers.
Well, we went 12 years ago. This is his first. So.
Awesome. Well, he's dressed for the occasion. That's for sure. All right, you got a final score for me?
We're gonna win.
They're going to win. Don't even need the score.
Excellent
by 1,000.
Excellent lettuce, by the way. Excellent.
I do like the flow. Yeah, we like the flow. Absolutely.
Thank
you all very much. Go Cats. All right. Do we have any more final takes or anything for this game, or are we just kind of let's go get this over?
I feel really good about tonight. I think they're locked in. I like the mentality. I like the mindset coming in. I think it's going to be what we're hoping it to be in terms of 3-point shooting. I think we're going to get back to a 18 of 35 type of shooting night. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going. Travis Perry is my MVP as the backup point guard for Kentucky to step in. He's going to bang a couple of threes, and I think Kentucky's going to win 106 to 65.
Who takes Lamont's spot? Because obviously we'll probably shift up. You got Jackson at the 1, then you'll put Otega at the 2. Carr, a Williams. Who do you think takes that 3 spot? Do you give it to Almanor? Do you slide Chandler in, give him a go?
It's going to be Kobe. It'll be Kobe. Kobe will slide in at the starting job, assuming Lamont will know in a couple of minutes. But I think it's going to be Kobe. He's going to be one of the guys to step up and start making threes. He's had a little bit of a cold stretch himself. He's going to be one of the guys to step up and help get Kentucky to the 106 mark.
Absolutely. My prediction for this is 7 Wildcats in double figures.
Ooh, that's a good one. I do like that.
That's an interesting one because they're down 2 of the main 10 guys. So that means you're gonna go deep into the bench, and a lot of guys are gonna score. But I'm gonna go 99-59, 40-point win tonight for the Cats. Another massive crowd here tonight. I'm actually expecting a great crowd tonight. I think every time we get here, the crowd's just getting better and better. The post-game radio shows are growing to the point where the lower bowl might be filled if Kentucky beats Louisville by 15 or something on Saturday. So I'm just looking forward to the vibes are just so high right now, Jack.
And it's freezing cold out here. You would have no idea. I mean, there's a sea of blue on its way in right now. It's awesome, man. I really do love just the overall vibe of the program right now. It's in a really good spot. Vibes are excellent after the Gonzaga win, and it's going to be even more so after we get out of here with another blowout victory.
Cats by 40. Shout out to our guy rapping over there in the tie. We'll see y'all after the game.